Hey, 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 you will make it TV followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Welcome to You Will Make It TV, where we believe faith attracts possibilities, and with those same possibilities, it's up to you thereafter. What you do with them that makes the difference, okay? Because even the Bible tells us chance and time happeneth to them all, but it's not the swift or the strong that win the race. It's those that endure, okay? So that's what we like to do here at You Will Make It TV. We like to inspire others, bring inspirational quotes, messages, and content. Give our perceptions, because sometimes we're one perception away from our next mistake, downfall, something we could have prevented or avoided altogether. So that's why I will continue to stand as a speaker who stands behind inspiration and faith. And right, it's not that I can give that to the world, but at least invoking the attempt to invoke change in a positive way in the world around me. I think that matters. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Arthur Tedescherry. I've been known to be full of thoughts and commentary and reactions, even to everyday life. Like, this is my regular character, if you will. I don't like to look at myself as a character, but some people say the world is just a stage anyway. It's a big video game to some people, and we're just all the players, the avatars, the characters involved, you know? So, anyways, we thank you guys for joining us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Today's date, March 12, 2724. I think it's the 27th. Let me double check that for us here. Yep, that's right. Today's December 27th. It's been a while since I've got to come on here and go live and share some inspiration, but I don't know. My faith being, I don't know, it be like visible, or I don't know. It still intrigues me, like when I choose to tap into it, the moments or the days or the which faith, it should be a everyday thing if you ask me, that we should all have, but it's not always easy to keep the faith. We've just been told it's a good thing to keep the faith, but that doesn't mean it's an easy task. Anyways, feel free to subscribe here, like or share any of our content going into 2025, because we you don't want to miss the projects, the inspirational art, creativity we're going to be bringing to the channel. We want you guys to enjoy that, because sometimes that's how some of us communicate too, like through art or music, or some people really are like that. And I'm sorry to the ones who don't understand that in the world. There are millions of different types, not only of communicators, but the way they communicate. And this is that way because there's no one way to communicate. We got to know this. Today's segment title is called Creators Getting Creative. It's still a trending topic that TikToker just might be banned. I'm talking about sooner. I know it's just been a rumor, and we've been seeing people uh literally not just report this. Let me go back because I did a previous segment about this already. I will share that in the comments. it's still an important topic in my eyes, creators getting creative, because in my opinion that's exactly what they're about to have to do. As a matter of fact, it's already a trending topic across different social media platforms and world news about how current TikTok influencers are already kind of worried about what they're going to do if this social media platform gets banned. Now, when I say creators, I'm talking about the ones that just do this for a form of this is their work for a form of income. Like some of these guys, I feel like they have a right. This is just my reaction and commentary to the topic too. Every voice across the globe matters, of course, but I feel like the ones that are speaking up about, you know what I'm saying, they just feel like, they want to protest about that. And that's where y'all can leave y'all opinions in the comments. Like, do y'all understand why certain and it's not just certain creators, most monetized influencers do have a problem with the new TikTok ban that is possibly and just might go into effect soon? Do y'all think they have a right? I mean, like I said, we all got a right to our opinion, but do y'all feel where they are coming from? Some of these guys have been influencers at least over 5 plus years. Any career 5 plus years makes you not only experienced, you probably, if you do your job right, the goal is to consistently elevate, grow, get to the next level. You don't, not too many stay in the same position forever. Like at some point you're supposed to move up higher because you've done that position for so long. But I say that applies in the TikTok community as well for those influencers, not just the ones that do story times. Like I said, they post regularly and do this as a, because let's talk about it, that's what an influencer does. Like they regularly they're either promoting something, marketing something, influencing something, uh you know motivating it, giving that to their viewers and subscribers and things. And this is what they subscribe for, and sometimes they even get donations and stuff on top of that. I'm gonna do a topic about that too, because that's another trending topic right now. That's why anything I share that's already trending news, you can expect me some of it to maybe come give my live reaction to. Some of it I don't. It don't mean I don't have a opinion about it, just like the rest of the world when we see any news, right? But this right here is very interesting to me because a lot of people do simply work not only from the internet, but for social media platforms specifically these days. So I think that's very interesting. And yes, a lot of these people have families, bills, kids, things they need every day. So that's what their issue is with the approaching ban. Okay. I would just say we all need to look at the world influencers first, realistically. The reason I'm not moved, even as an influencer, I do what I do because I love it when I can. If I could do it more often, I actually would. That's the whole point about that. Or I actually, let me say this in better words, because I already have a history of, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a history of seeing myself in the future of entertainment and stuff like this. Entertainment, media, and communications. It doesn't matter who doubts that. That's just what I see for myself. Cause like you come a long way to be able to just express yourself personally, but to be able to do it on a professional level where anybody can understand you. I hate when they say, "Who's your target audience?" Sometimes, because I have a history in business. Sometimes you have a target customer, a target audience. I never do because I've always more benefited in being able to provide a service or product or something that I'm doing that's anybody could be benefit from. But that's me personally. Now that's one of those things I say the world would be a better place if all businesses were like that. But unfortunately, yes, you do have some products, fortunately and unfortunately, like we understand why, that do have target customers and audiences and stuff like this, because that it's more for them, like a special skin product or hair care product. Not everything is going to be for everybody. So, anyways, TikTok seems to be for everybody, just about everybody these days. either has had an account or has an account, or maybe they were thinking about making one. I can I know myself personally, I've motivated or encouraged a few others along the way in my little short-lived time. That's the thing about my personal commentary about the upcoming TikTok ban. Like, I had just got familiar with it myself. TikTok been out way longer than when I had first started even trying to test it out or work on there or anything. Now some people use it for business. That's what this topic is about. I don't see any other way for creators, influencers, to get around things like this, bans and stuff. When I say get around it, how will you supplement that income? That's great and everything if that's what feeds your family and stuff. But a lot of these social media platforms, people have easy time with affiliate marketing, doing business on these platforms. Other people have had more experiences. Maybe we can even stay tuned because I do miss that part of my work, like interviewing people, getting real life stories on what they've been through, even if they have to remain anonymous or whatever that make them feel. Because, like, what do people think? Why are you on the internet if you don't know these things, right? Or you're not aware not only of the success that you can make for yourself through the internet, because a lot of talent is scouted right there. That's where people put themselves out there. You're always gonna have the fans or the viewers that feel like that's just commenters, right? Like myself, really, I can use myself for an example, but it's different when you are actually putting yourself out there. That takes courage. So shout out to all the influencers and content creators across the globe. No matter how big or small you are, it takes a lot of courage, in my opinion, to put your whole self right out on a public platform, a social media, anything. And a lot of us, we started doing this 10, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Let's be honest with ourselves. Go back. We can think about MySpace, all the other social media platforms that were here before today. And this is what I love about my love for entertainment, communications, and media type work. Like how long this has been around. Newspapers, any form of communication that just kept people in a form of social. You might not look at newspapers as social media, but in its own way it was. Just without the technology. So I can feel that. I just say, man, what a time to be alive. Because just as quick as we seen apps like TikTok, a lot of them are finna be banned. I mean, look at it. It is trending news again that it could slowly be approaching that day where that ban is in total effect uh in our country. And yes, it's trending because people still have a personal opinion about it. Like, they're also, doing something about their opinions. They just flat out are talking about it. They're just protesting the ban. They reject the ban. They're saying that we don't agree with it, right? Um why are they so motivated about this? Yes, money, their income is involved. So anyways, I'm trying to keep the topic just about TikTok, but when you really look at it, I just feel like, as beautiful as it was for a lot of us to be able to create business through social media platforms, it's always was the negative ones that messed it up for everybody. Let's not act like there's not a whole reason that they have brought this to the table. Like, hey, maybe we need to ban TikTok. States like Florida at least banned it for minors. They've already went there for, right? I think it's 15 and under. They've banned their access to be able to get on that social media platform in that state, okay? But we're talking about something that even bigger is this is going to be in effect everywhere here soon, or it might be. But there may be a ban on TikTok. It's just crazy. Just as quick as we seen it come, it might be gone. So now it leaves my question, my curiosity to content creators across the globe, because we know not just one country of people use TikTok. That's a lot of people. I said, how does this correlate? How does this suddenly correlate with the workforce now? You call people unemployed. We understand that when unemployed is just considered a 9 to 5 job. But now you have more content creators who might be without quote unquote jobs just because of one social media platform being banned. Okay. So I think it's worth trending. I title it discussion digestive topics because they're not just discussions over here at You Will Make It TV. We digest these topics, okay? Digest is like breaking something all the way down, right? And I have to be passionate about something to talk about it. That's what makes my content different from other people's, in my opinion. See, people do all type of different business and work on these platforms, but I feel like reality must remind us that there is a reason. Whether we agree with that reason or not, there's a whole reason that it's been proposed. A bill has been proposed to ban TikTok. See, anything you abuse when it comes to privilege, you can end up losing. It's like, what have people forgot about that? That's one of the most kind of like the golden rule. It's as old as the golden rule. If you don't respect something, or what do they say, you usually don't miss it till it's gone. I'm like, man, are these days coming when it comes to TikTok too? I do believe it's a social media platform people will miss. I never seen a time, why I think TikTok was beautiful in a way. Like, I never seen a time, I was thinking about that the other day, where people dance so much. Like, it's a whole movement of dance. Nobody seemed to have a problem with it. Like these trending dances, we know that's not all TikTok is known for. But when I think about TikTok, and when I think about TikTok in the future, as a person who lived in the culture of TikTok, when it did survive, I'm gonna think about that. It caused people to dance or come together more in a way. It opened doors and room for collaborations and people to make deals with one another, do business all kind of ways, right? Like, it's not one I can personally say, oh, this is how I feel about it because I'm one of those being monetized on TikTok. But I do think people like us, our opinions matter too, because that don't mean that we're not familiar with TikTok or that we haven't used it here and there or something. That's a social media platform though. That's why I just feel like a person that's really trying to be found, known, put themselves out there, that would definitely be the and I didn't say OnlyFans or any of these other social media apps, Facebook, none of that. I said them. This, guys, let's compare for a second. LinkedIn is not being proposed to be banned right now. TikTok is. LinkedIn is another huge social media platform where people connect for business and work and professional and career and just collaborations and networking. Okay, this is a whole social media space where this happens. We know it happens on Facebook and other places too, but I just want to use LinkedIn for example. When I say look at the comparison, LinkedIn and TikTok are going through two different things business wise right now, and we know Facebook was under fire for a while too. I don't know, I don't keep up with the current news on it unless I plan to just want to go research and study it or plan to do a topic about it. But I know that that's probably a whole fact. I don't know what all Facebook ended up going through on the business side, but I know they were never banned. Okay, and LinkedIn is not. It's never been discussed that that would happen. People have profiles on here and market their and promote their works and businesses. Too there. Okay, so you might not see a community of that's the difference between TikTok and LinkedIn. You're not going to see a community of more like young people. You do see young people on LinkedIn, but it's more for strictly highly professional purposes. If you do see them on there, I mean, from my experience with LinkedIn, there's no kids around there at all. Not from my experience. That's more big boy professional social media platform networking type stuff. Okay, that platform. Yep. The difference with TikTok, all these minors, y'all got to go back and research that. It's just a word of advice why they have even come together to propose this bill. it was more to it than that too. Like with that's why I said I'm gonna share my other topic I already did on it, where I gave more specific details about why people are fighting for this social media app to be banned. First of all, they're not even owned by uh an American company. Like, I think they're just kind of partnered with them. They're not, America doesn't own TikTok. That's a whole part of this. Why it could become very real when it comes to the conversation of it being banned. Okay. For those that don't understand what's going on with it. Still, if you're a content creator, right, you you should have no problem being creative. Something like a TikTok ban to me would prove it too. Because now you would be forced to be creative. You're going to either use another platform to keep that business going. Hopefully you're proactive and you're already on other ones, because they've been talking about banning TikTok now at least the past 6 months. Okay, so hopefully you would already be like, what's my next move? Not just complaining, hoping, keeping your fingers crossed that they don't ban TikTok. That makes no sense if one of your main points is that you're gonna, you that's your income. You know what I mean? Why would you wait till they ban it to try to be looking for what your next move is gonna be or whatever? It's just a question of curiosity from You Will Make It TV. It seems wiser, no matter what kind of content creator you are, because we know there are thousands upon thousands of different type of creators. We should know this by now. Some people are on there to promote dance, like I said, cooking and recipes. They have food businesses, right? Pastry businesses, chocolate factory businesses. I've seen it all right there on TikTok. I think the mistake was people put so much investment in promoting their businesses this way when we did it just fine. They did it somehow, because what did we do as entrepreneurs before? That's all people got to ask themselves. What did we do as entrepreneurs before social media? To my last understanding, people still ran their businesses if they wanted to. The economy might have been different at different periods of history. When we talk about the last decade, the past 2 or 3 decades, yes, the economy's changed a lot, but we're talking about individuals in their own independent income. Yes, social media content creation paved the way, allowed more than one, two, three, a few people to change their whole lives, right? Some people do comedy. I mean, it's so much different things people use TikTok for. That's what I say, it's different creators. But I would say this is an opportunity for creators to get creative then. Because they really are talking about banning TikTok. That's why I titled this segment that. For sure. Now, and then we'll see a lot with that too. Because, like, we all know that's not like YouTube is another place you can come and show and express your and maybe promote your business. It's not TikTok, but they do have similar features that business owners can take advantage of. They have several different features on this app you can use in a wise way to get yourself monetized, right? Those that know, but not everybody knows. That's why I'm saying this is informative information. TikTok is like a whole different ball game. Some people have stories of their life changing, their income literally changing in a matter of 2 weeks, 30 days. And I can't make this up. They went viral. It took one video, and it's like that one video start a chain spark reaction. And now they're viral, and now they get however they get their income from it. Now maybe they even set up Etsy shops and Amazon stores. I just want to keep this channel active again too, because that's people don't really see the bridge gapper or the middleman. Let's think about that. Like, the middleman never really gets as much uh roses or flowers or praise as the actual frontliners, but the middleman does play a big part. That person that helps to bridge the gaps in between these type of transitions. What would you call that type of person? A transition master, a transition Somebody very good in transition. Some people are not naturally like that. That's what I'm reminding the people. So the more transition we see moving forward, going into the future, everybody will not be able to, not in my opinion, they will not be able to survive these changes just because of how much they invested, how much I'm talking about mind, body, heart, soul, income, everything into some of these social media, internet things. We didn't say there's nothing wrong with it, but if you got 100% and you know anything about investing, why would you put your whole 100% on the internet? I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't by choice, but it's nothing wrong with it. I would just say have 30% of a way, have a plan for if you could not operate your business. Some even in-person retailers or like on-site businesses, they have backup plans or generators in case the lights go out or something. They can still run their business. I feel like it should be the same way. Content creators should look at this the same way. One day your internet might not work or it's down for a second. Your business just not gonna make money that day. I say as a middleman, inspirational speech giver, I have to say this. You never wait until it's, you know, you always gotta have a backup plan. Now I don't believe preaching that either, because I'm the type of person to have 10 backup plans. But if it's not your fate, if it's not your destiny for even those 10 backup plans to work, they're not. That's some real inspiration for you. But if we really, really did title these positions content creators, that should bring the creative out of you. Every time you gotta go restart something, everybody was not born strong in transition. That's what I started off saying. Maybe some people get strong in transition because they've been forced. They've if you go through an obstacle course 100 times, you think you're not gonna eventually be able to go through it with your eyes closed? That's a scary truth right there, but it's an inspirational truth too. You can't go through the same cycles and not grow to me. That's impossible. Even the most basic person, or I don't care how slow they catch on. If you do something so much, if it becomes repetitive enough, yeah, that's what brain memory is about. Like that's like forcing nature to not be nature. Like brain memory tells you it teaches you repetition. It's kind of implanted there, a pattern, a cycle. Okay, you eventually be able to do things better. So if you constantly change, I just say, yeah, it's fair to say that the world has changed a lot in the past 10, 15, 20 years. So we've all, whether we chose to change or not, have seen change around us. Think about that. We Whether you chose, you as an independent person, you saw things around you though. I don't care what part of the world you've been in. If it's been the past 10 years, you saw some changes in this world. Economically, uh, geographically, most things are the same, but a lot of that people still don't know. Now, climate change, there's just been a lot of different changes in household, changes in everything. Some people say they've been historical changes too, because if you bring something like technology and internet and Wi-Fi and data and stuff to the table, yes, this open up work opportunities. See, people love to talk about the statistics of workforce rate, unemployment. Okay, I shared something today actually. You guys feel free to go look at it yourself because I thought it was great news. The state of New Hampshire has been seeing a constant decrease in their homelessness. And I believe that deserves a big clap and a round of applause for that state during these times. So it's just an example of there have been changes. Like how you never think that would be the news one day, like somebody's able to actually lessen. Maybe cost of living there was never really bad as a lot of places, right? We know that's more up north or northern state. You got east, west, and south. So all of that matters when you also talk about the economy and the cost of living. So there, they've been able to have decline in homeless rates. I said, now this is news. Yeah, like all news is news, but things like that to me, I'm like, wow, you're actually happy to see it, right? Even if I don't stay there or anything, I've never really researched much about that state myself. I know it's probably not one of the biggest. It's probably one of the smallest states. So there's different reasons. All of that does matter geographically, like where you are when it comes to that. Y'all probably don't think, y'all probably like what they got to do with content creators. Content creators also live on different parts of the globe. What do y'all mean? They're just on the internet. Like they live in different parts where some places more costly than others. Period. Whether they're on the internet or not. You know what I mean? That's the cost of living. Okay, so I said, how do you live in this world, but you don't witness the changes when they happen? TikTok being banned is just another change, in my opinion. Another transition. I say you get to the root of it if you can grow stronger in being able to move and navigate through transition. It shouldn't matter the transition. It does, of course. I guess I can't speak on it the same. I've never been monetized on there. The people that have been, they're upset to hear that that platform might be banned soon. Seriously. They're like, no, this is how we pay bills and how we're getting things done and we're running our businesses. The way I see it, they can run their businesses. And this is not a political opinion. This is my personal opinion as a person, right? As somebody with content creation experience myself and the potential to grow further. Even as these transitions happen and we are beginning to lose, probably that's the future of it, access to some of these platforms. You should still, okay, why are you calling yourself a creator? If what is the problem? How, well, okay, what's your next creation, right? Because like creation wouldn't know, that would be the opposite of destroy, really. When you think about it, that's the opposite of creation, destroying something. Creation is like building it from scratch, in my opinion. It's worth talking about it. Now there's all type of different creators. I don't care though. A creator is a creator. A locksmith, whatever kind of creator you are. Right? But art, those artistic individuals in the world, we got to appreciate them. Entertainment is still one of the biggest money making businesses in the world. And I'm not just talking about Hollywood. I said entertainment. Entertainment, okay? These are digestive discussion topics. We break it down. Okay, we got way more coming. This is just like not even touching the surface of real discussions that people are having, not just in everyday communities, but especially in social media communities right now, because it is true. A lot of people actually do run their businesses, right? Their pastries, restaurants. They have a TikTok, Instagram page, a whole restaurant. You'd be like, what does a restaurant need Instagram for, right? But no, that's actually normal today. It's actually smart too. Now, Instagram, they're not actually pros and bills to ban that. Let's just say not yet. But it's worth people thinking about. Like, watch what you do after any privilege you abuse. We're not, you can't just singlehood a person about that. We're seeing this. Like, how can you not see the change in the world with, I guess that's how that happens. But how can you not see the change in the world around you if you don't first see it with, like, there's no changes with you? Like you don't, not even a janitor. Some janitors stay a janitor 25 years, but they're doing something else with their life, or they eventually do something else. You don't want to stay in the same position like that too long, but everybody life different. So even if y'all don't make, it's inspiration for those that are having a little, right, like doubt, because they actually might be banning that platform where people cannot make money anymore. So not on there unless there's, so that anything that's banned, we should understand the reality of that too. That means if you still are somehow affiliated with that after they've banned it, that is, you can put yourself in a line of penalty type stuff like that. That's what I find interesting about it. I thought it was fair the state that just banned it for minors. I said I was interested too. Like as a citizen, how far I think banning it for minors was like well enough, but no, this is like I said, people have to do their own research. Like they don't even own they don't even own TikTok. So I mean this can really happen if they choose not to do business with that platform in this country. It's really interesting. So, anyways, creators getting creative. TikTok ban still being discussed amongst content creator communities, especially going into the new year. Everybody's already talking about it. How much changes we can already anticipate for, expect going into the new year. You see what I'm saying? Just not people think everything about them. We're talking about around us. Remember, I said that at the beginning. How you don't not see what happened, the changes around you. The world is not like it was 10 years ago. It won't be like it is today, 10 years from now. If you don't already think like that, yeah, changes would catch you off guard, or they could catch any one of us off guard, but you don't want it to be in a way where you cannot survive transition. You cannot survive change when it, because you weren't prepared. What? You're comfortable living the same way. Whether you choose to live that same way or you don't, it's like change will eventually become inevitable, uh even especially in the world around you. That's why a person can be incarcerated but the world is like different to them when they get out. Have you ever noticed that? If you've never been incarcerated, you probably don't know, but you might know somebody that has, and they will tell you. It doesn't matter what year it was either that they got incarcerated. When they got out, it was different outside. And they're not talking about the trees and nature. That stuff was probably still the same, but even that's changing constantly, right? They get out because it's one way constant where they were. But when they get out, that that outside world was constantly changing. You know, things might look different in the very city they grew up in. They might have tore down a store, a church that used to be there for 50 years. They might have changed this and that, right? It's quite the experience. I don't respect criminals, but I respect anybody that has had that experience in their life, like straight isolation, like from the outside world that constantly changes, whether you're in contact with it or not. It's really interesting. Okay, because this is a whole thing. This is why social media content creators love what they do. A lot of them do it from work. I told y'all you have whole restaurants that have Instagrams, clubs, all type of businesses. Machinery business, construction business, they have social media, but some of them, everybody don't work like on site. They might work on site. That's what people love about content creating, just at their home. That's what they love about it. That's what made it convenient. That's what made it trendy. That's what made TikTok one of the number one social media platforms in the world. Users. Let me add that word on there so I'm not misquoting anything. Okay, I am just freestyling with my own commentary, reaction, and opinion about this real thing that's happening today with TikTok soon. For real, like I do feel those and what they are saying when it comes to the unfortunateness, how they might lose income from that. But I would say I already be working on it. So many other things, ways you can have online stores and blogs, and people do different stuff like the blogs. They travel and uh, just do what they do. Do different reviews or product testing. There's so much to do out there. Surveyors. Some people just survey for money. They go to surveys and test studies, right? Some people they're surrogates. One surrogate could make $75,000 minimum having a baby for somebody. So, like I said, I just know it's a million and one ways to legally get money in TikTok if you're doing it the right way. Many were monetized on there. There's some of the main ones really. this could take a hit. I said I never look at it like that, but that a lot of people are losing jobs. You're still talking about the workforce. You're still talking about employment and unemployment when you talk about social media and banning one as big as that one, or like saying, "Oh, we're not going to do business with them anymore." Okay, because just imagine people in other countries, but that's for them to decide. Every country has their own leadership and how they do things. But people, that's what I think was beautiful about TikTok. Like people from all over the world, this has changed their lives. Creating creative content on a social live media platform in poor third world countries, people have been able to change their lives. They have remodeling business, farming businesses, different things they show on there that helped to bring in income for their families in those countries as well, right? So I see it all the way around with this new change. But for the ones that change might be coming soon, yeah, I would just say maybe have what are you going to do next? If content creation means that much to you, one platform being banned shouldn't. That's just my opinion. Shouldn't stop you from doing that. If you just complain for 20 years that they banned TikTok, you're never getting back out there in the workforce to put your work back out there. That's my opinion about it. Creators getting creative, right? Because what does a creator do? Whether you put the word content before it, uh, a dancing creative is going to be called a choreographer, for example. There's all type of different creators, or somebody who creates a way out of no way. That's what they say about God, right? The ultimate creator, right? The creator. hmm And I just feel like it's disrespectful when we use the word creator, and like people are either not fully using it at their potential, or they feel like they can't. All of that is a problem. Like, do we know what creation means? And that's what you're doing when you have a baby too. When you make a baby, all of it is a form of creation. You notice they call it crayon. I don't know if there's some relativeness in that or symbolism, but they do. It's called a Crayola. It's a very old name to describe many colors, right? Like art and colors are a form of expression. People speaking is also a form of artistic expression, right? And there's the puppet shows, magic shows, operas. It's all a form of expression, right? Opera doesn't sound like jazz. Jazz doesn't sound like the blues. It might a little bit. Classical doesn't sound like organ music, church music. All of it's different. Reggae doesn't sound like anything but itself. That's why these are different genres, right? Discussion digestive topics, because we break them down over here. But like it's the same with content creating. It's not one of those things to me. Creation, you can I mean, we see the world has gotten to that too. It's nothing that can't be imitated, copied. I mean, but we know that creation is real, or are we trying to erase the reality of that, the beauty in that, the sacredness in that? It's not a way I can live, right? Like it's much or as far as I can go, even if it's a little bit. Being creative in ways in my life, that's what I have to keep doing. Because if that's what I am, that's changing. That's changing the natural course of things. Stopping that thing or person or place from creating. Now, we're not saying that about TikTok. I'm just saying for the creators out there that are commenting and all these trending comments on Twitter and everywhere about it. If you're a creator, you keep doing it. I don't know. It's so deep. Like creation is what brought the world about, literally. Uh, Even stars, like they're balls of gas and they have lifespans. It's a lot to it. How does a gas of light or something like that have a lifespan, like a literal time span it burns, and it might be like light years. Light years are not even the same time span as we think we live in every day, right? Like our reality. It's crazy. But yeah, that's how deep the conversation of creation gets with me. If I'm ever asked about it, have to talk about it, nobody asks me. Sometimes I just come give my opinion because on live on here from, the horse's mouth, because that's what we like to do as speakers, as advocates. People don't understand that. They say the less of us that actually loudly speak that that person is a leader, then that's what makes it true. I say if a person is that, whether you reverence them as that or not, they're that. That's the thing about creation. A leader is born, they're not created. Have y'all ever heard that term? That's one thing about a leader. That creation can be created. Anybody can make a creation, and them themselves are a creation first. That's what proves it. You know, people come together or they independently create things. Uh, they do say that though, like a leader, that's something somebody is destined to be. They're born that. You cannot instill that in somebody. Now, I believe we can coach one another and encourage one another to walk in the highest lights of ourselves that we can. We can only do that so much too for other people. Like that leader gotta be in you, cause who's it ain't gonna always be somebody there to tell you, hey, get out there and create, hey, go faster, or coach you, unless you hire somebody to really do that, or like who gonna babysit you. Maybe some people do have that, but that's not creating. That's somebody coaching you through it. Like you creation isn't like, y'all know, that's like a deeper thing to me than somebody like coaching you into it. They can coach you into it, but their creation at the end of the day, that's like it has a signature to it. That's where a lot of people with power and control, that gets into a whole nother topic there, because like a lot of people truly believe at the end of the day, and I understand why, that when they create something that it is theirs. But this is far and in between true, with depending on what you're talking about. Like it's yours in a form if you create it, right? But if you create it for just yourself, did you create it for just yourself or others? The conversation of creation, in my opinion, can get really deep. Uh, Seriously, like when we create something, is it more for self satisfaction? If you build a family home, you probably have the whole family in mind when it comes to the architecture. It seems like common sense, but maybe you just speak on it. People need to hear this. Go back to the basics. But if you create something just for yourself, that doesn't make you any less of a creator, in my opinion. That makes you more sure of yourself as a creator, no matter whether you're creating it for yourself or others, right? So, anyways, just some inspiration for the content creators out there who are having a hard time coping with the fact that TikTok might be banned soon. I know it's easier said than done, because some people, like they are telling us, do receive income revenue. They are monetized influencers. They have contracts and collaborations and networking things they built over years right there on TikTok, that they're probably about to have to go and do something different. Seriously, if they ban TikTok like that. But it's easier said than done if you're not one of those people. So I gotta tell the truth where it's due. I've never had well, I've done business on TikTok, but not like to where I put my 100% eggs in it ever. Period. Actually, after I saw a few things about it myself, I just, not in a negative way, but I see what people are talking about when it comes to how they could have made things a little more uh stricter, if you will. It's just too much access to this, that, and the third when you are talking about that platform. Thank you guys. It's Arthur Tedder Sherry, your favorite audio host, for tuning into another live segment with You Will Make It TV, where faith attracts possibilities. Stay tuned for more live content, inspirational quotes, messages, and uh, expressions for myself, commentary, dialogue. We'll even get back to the level where we have special guest interviews. Uh, People in these real positions too, because like I said, I'm a content creator myself. I haven't chosen to get out here and get interviewed at this time. I can say that for the record. Not chosen to. Like if anybody's just throwing me out there, that's a whole different topic. But it would be interesting because talking to somebody that's been doing it 10 years versus 3 years or something like that is different. But they're still both content creators. Me as a real researcher would be interested in talking to both. Like what, okay, like when you came into the business, what was it like? And then when you came into the business around that time, what was it like, type stuff, you know. The internet never changed. We all know it just got more advanced. I guess it's still advancing. It's like it's growing like we do, like just advancing. But we don't want to believe we can do it. We're seeing the internet do that every day. Not that we're supposed to be trying to outlive or outrun computers, but there was a world of time around us where we just didn't have them around. Maybe not everybody like accessible like people do today. Just out there in the open, and then we look at it, we see how much the world has changed because of this. Thank you guys. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe. We love you, and until next time.